Hello there. You are open, aren't you? It's dreadful weather outside, and I'm afraid I'm quite drenched. You were the last in for miles, and I couldn't stand being out there much longer. Well, I do hope you have a room available. At this point, I would take a spot on the floor than brave that storm. You have a room upstairs? Oh, splendid. That will do just fine. And here's my payment. 5 gold pieces, and an extra 2 for whatever my horse requires. Well now, if I could just hang up my cloak somewhere out of the way. There we go. What a weight off my shoulders. While they do keep you warm, it only takes an hour or so in the rain before they really hamper your movement. Is something the matter? Oh, right. The ears. Not the first time I've caused that reaction on my travels. I forgot we don't tend to have much presence this side of the mountains. There's no need to be afraid. I am from the Eastern Kingdoms. Some of you know us by the term elves. Well, there are more specific names for my people, but I think that will do for now. I don't mean to take up much more of your time, but could I trouble you for a meal? I can already smell something emanating from the pot over there, and I really am quite famished. I'll pay you extra, of course. Right, I'll take a seat then. I could do with placing my pack somewhere warm too, I suppose. Thank you. Smells delicious. You seem to have quite a lot remaining for so late in the evening. No one else is here? That seems familiar. The roads have been empty for quite a while on my journey. Since there doesn't seem to be anyone around, if I would be so bold, would you mind keeping me company for a little while? I'm afraid I haven't spoken to anyone for a few weeks now. You will? Well then, pull up a seat. I suppose introductions are in order. Please excuse my bedraggled appearance. My name is Erlen Mirafeel, emissary to the Ashen Empire. And yourself? Charmed. And I take it this is your inn too. You really have outdone yourself with such a warm and welcoming interior. Yes, I thought I couldn't leave such a simple introduction without causing some intrigue. It sounds much more grand than it actually is. As the passes began to thaw on the mountains, I was tasked with continuing a little trade agreement at your capital. The need for face-to-face discussion certainly slows things down a bit, but I believe that's all we can do without magic. I've been traveling for close to a month now, and this is the first time since I began that anyone has even exchanged pleasantries with me. Since you seem to be so interested in what I do, let's make an agreement. I'll answer a few of your questions if you will answer just one of mine. Deal? Excellent. But first, how about I get us both a drink? Could you pass me that jug of water for a moment? Now, that should do nicely. Just add the leaves and allow to steep for a few moments. This trick comes in very handy when travelling the wilds alone. It's why I endeavour to pack my own favourite blends of tea. It helps to remind me of home on lonelier nights. Just a light stir, and that should be it. It's quite hot, so don't burn yourself. Make sure to enjoy the delicate aroma that whips away in the steam. It helps to soothe the mind of worries after a long day. My tea makes fans wherever I get the time to share it with someone. I shall have to leave you some to try for yourself. So, what would you like to ask first? I'm all ears. Travelling alone, I suppose that's just normal for us. While I have heard that humans travel in parties and groups, it's more for protection than anything else. We can generally handle ourselves if we come across anybody untowards. For myself, I can always fall back upon magic, in a pinch. Something that humanity doesn't seem to have grasped as of yet. The journey is difficult, but if every stop was as interesting as this, it would be much more enjoyable. Do you have another question? No, it's not a sore topic. Don't worry, I'm happy to speak of my homeland. We are an empire with a long history, built in isolation from the continent. A collection of many nations with different histories, under a single banner. For the last 100 years we've had relative peace, without contact with the other areas of the world. Only in recent times have we ventured outside our borders and begun to engage with other races, mostly under our current emperor. In fact, it is under his guidance that we have reached out in peace to your lands. You would find our lands most interesting. Cities of magic where the walls stretch as far as the eye can see, at least with regards to our capital. It will be most interesting once I reach your own. As a high elf, I hail from the far eastern coast, but my own home sits outside the capital. I was never a fan of the loudness of the city. Much prefer the quiet of the fields and solace of my own gardens. I do miss the peacefulness. But when duty calls, I must answer, even if it means leaving for such a while. I could go on, but I fear the night is already quite late. But finally, you can answer one of my questions. Could you hold your hand out for a moment? I'm just going to check something. Do not worry, it's not going to cause you any harm, I promise. Just a moment. Why does my magic respond to you? Apologies. I know that's a question you can't answer. My, this country is so interesting. Always something different to find. Well, I think it's time we turned in, don't you think? I have a long journey ahead of me in the morning, but I have very much appreciated the company. My time in the capital will be long, but I'll be sure to drop by on my return. But for now, good night, and have pleasant dreams.